Uh-oh. The name that you have on the
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, let's talk about the Disney then, because I didn't know what was popping off. Okay, so basically WWE, if you don't know, um, WWE is now owned by Disney, but in Indonesia, which means that it it's a lot of more of the things that be happening. Okay, so was really weird. I know like the House of Mouse is gonna start throwing down. Maybe that's now the Mickey is gonna be in the men's Royal Rumble, while Minnie is gonna be in the women's Royal Rumble. It's perfect sense now. Um, Basically, what had happened was that they announced this deal, I think, around on Tuesday. So what they said was that they're gonna bring the whole WWE Network to Hotstar. Hotstar is one of the hubs in Disney. I believe I have it. Maybe the thing. No, Hotstar. Okay, sorry, getting off track. Point is, Hotstar is available over in Indonesia, right? And so on the Hotstar channel of Disney, you're gonna now be able to get the WWE Network. So it's part of a multi-year deal, and it's gonna be included in their standard service. It's not even like the high up whatever. So it's the
Mhm,
standard service, and it basically be all of the pay-per-views that we get, such as WrestleMania, as well as all of the library content, right? So
mhm,
the deal also sheds light, which is why I said it's slightly important, not just on how the streaming wars is and what how they're trying to grapple with over stuff over there, but the fact that when Nick Khan gave that interview and was like, "We're open for business," and people were like, "Oh, NBC is going to buy you now." Yes and no. It means that they're not going to say no to anyone who's knocking at the door for a deal. There again, this is a company that's about entertainment. This is not a wrestling company. This is a company that's meant to solely make money off of the products that it already has, the history and the legacy, the Hulk Hogan's of the past. Now you can go and watch on the WWE network over in Indonesia on Hotstar. Point is that I'm simply saying is that what they're trying to do is that they're going to just accumulate as much money as they can. And the whole purpose of that is that, to open doors and availability to other countries and to make even more deals that they can. So here in the USA, the WWE network we know is available through Peacock, which is owned by NBC Universal. And the Disney deal does not mean like, oh, all of a sudden Disney's going to buy all of WWE. No, it just means that the other markets can now join in and decide if they want to, spend the money. They too can own a piece of WWE, but the WWE, as we know, the actual company, is not for sale yet. Um, sorry. So as of now, they have deals with NBC Universal for their network. We do know that they have USA Network, which we have Fox, and we also have Netflix. People keep forgetting we're getting the Vince McMahon docu series, which will be by Vince McMahon, so it's not going to be the real docu series of Vince McMahon. It's the nice sugar coated one where we struggled, but we made it through. Forget about all those allegations and the people that I screwed in my past. So it's going to be about that. Um, it also shows that they're willing to make unusual deals as long as you're willing to pay. They don't really care. Just give us the money. And outside it's going to look really weird to people who are not familiar with what's going on, because it's like, oh, I have WWE, but so does NBC and USA and everyone else. But the simple point that I'm making is that, WWE is open for business. They are obviously taking money from whomever wants to come and knock on their door. Whether or not this means eventually in the future they will be sold, we don't know. But we do know that Disney has enough money to, I don't know what's going on with this goddamn light, has enough money to basically buy them if they want to. So you can consider this to be a trial run. Maybe they'll get more interested and they'll start, accumulating more of what WWE has to offer. Maybe they could make a kids show docu series or something, and we'll see what'll happen there. So that'll be very interesting in general. But that is what kind of happened. Yay.
Well, Triple H said last year that Vince McMahon said that WWE is open for business. So it looks like this is exactly what they're referring to. That it may not be a thing where the company is entirely bought by one entity. It's that they're licensing their entity all over the place and maximizing their profits that way. So
Hmm.
it could be like you said that Indonesia has over there, like they're gonna have their version of Peacock, which is what Hotstar you said, and for Disney, and so you could have something like that, and then maybe in another country it's something that Fox has, or maybe something that NBC has. That might be the way they decide to go about this to to, to maximize their earnings. I mean, I don't know, Rich, do you have anything that you wanted to add on that?
Um, I don't necessarily think that this was a wise deal for Disney, but hey, if they got money to spend, by all means. But if they're not looking at what happened with the Fox deal, what happened with all these deals WWE does, and I don't think the people who are doing these deals are necessarily happy if the return on investment is not a good one. So, listen, it could still work out for them in the long run. I just think I'm not a fan of WWE right now. I'm not a fan of them getting rid of all these people who had so much potential to do great things in the company. And it just feels like right now this is a company focused on making money, and that's about it. They don't really care creatively. The ideas are not really great. Um, and that's like I said, it's a grim way to look at the product now, but it's a realistic product because again, I have memories of when we've gone to live shows, NXT, WrestleMania, and at that time, it just felt like it was a better experience, not just because everybody was there collectively within our group, but because they actually had some intriguing matchups. It feels as though now they've lost a lot of that. So I think you're going to have to see some kind of surprises tomorrow night, or tonight rather, because it is Saturday.
Well,
But we'll see.
I mean, keep in mind that we're seeing and talking about things from a fan's perspective, but these companies are looking at things from a business perspective. And it's why, even though the product has been questionable for the longest time, companies are still falling over themselves to give Vince McMahon their money because there's money to be made from it for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how they do it. I think there's some kind of voodoo involved here. But Vince McMahon, the WWE, they keep getting bailed out of their own mistakes. They keep getting these big deals, and they're never going to see any real suffering for the lack of quality in their writing and all that stuff.
I agree. And I just would like to make a quick correction. I will invest in WWE. Invest in WWE 2K22 because that at least looks decent, and I would much rather play that than watch the actual product. So they got at least one thing that they're doing right, I think, so far. But we'll see when the actual